Hi all, good morning, good evening. Welcome to the exclusive training provided by Isha Training Solutions on Datadog. That is an observability tool, right? So we are going to learn Datadog as well as the application performance monitoring and observability with Datadog. My name is Chandra. I'll be your trainer for this exclusive training provided by Isha Training Solutions. So I have more than 15 years of experience in the performance testing and observability. I have worked on different tools like Jmeter, LoadRunner, NeoLoad, as well as the observability tools like Dynatrace, Datadog, AppDynamics. I've conducted multiple batches of training. One moment. Sorry, everyone. So I have experience on the application performance monitoring tools also, like Dynatrace, Datadog, AppDynamics. I've conducted multiple batches of training, on the performance testing tools as well as the observability tools. So both corporate as well as our classroom trainings basically. So before going to the sessions, everyone, let me discuss about few of the ground rules of which we will follow as part of this training. Please remember, each and every session is going to be recorded. Each and every session is going to be recorded. You all are going to have lifetime access to the videos, everyone. Okay, you're going to have the lifetime access to the videos. Every document, whatever I share in this training, I will be sharing those with you all, as well as the additional documents will be shared with you all. Every session, is going to be demonstrated. So obviously, in the few sessions in the beginning, like 1 or 2 sessions, we'll discuss about the theory part, but then we will be demonstrating everything hands-on, guys. It will be live on the tool, so you all will be able to, view it. Clear? And we'll discuss as part of the, so today's agenda basically as part of this demo session, right? So we are going to understand what am I going to cover as part of this training, because that is very, very necessary, right? You need to know like what is being covered and whether it suits your agenda or not, right? Whether it is beneficial for you or not, whether it meets your objective or not, right? So that is why we will discuss about the course content, and then we will start with the topics. We will kind of delve into the topics whatever I have thought for today. Clear, everyone? And I will have the time slots basically, or I will give you the slots for the questions and answers, basically whatever queries you have, I'll clarify your queries. And throughout this session, guys, I'll request you all to be on mute. However, whenever you have any query, please wait for the slot. We'll discuss your queries at that point of time. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, so we'll get started. Yes. Thank you for the confirmation. Let me start sharing my screen, guys. So first we'll go through the course content, everyone. I hope you all have got the link. You all are part of the WhatsApp group. So our team has shared this link, right? So you all would be having this particular link where you can find the details about the course content, about myself as well. Okay, so you can find those details. So let us go through the course content, guys. So this is an exclusive training on Datadog, which is a tool for observability as well as application performance monitoring. So this course will completely be based on hands-on, guys. It will give you the introduction to APM and the observability and how to achieve that with the Datadog tool, right? So we'll see the different features like real-user monitoring, session replay, synthetic monitoring, dashboards, etc. And I have already told about myself, so you can get the brief details about myself over here, guys. So coming to the, what will you learn by the end of this course, right? So you, at the end of this course, you will have a clear understanding of the difference between monitoring and observability, why the, observability tools are very important in today's world. Okay, every team, guys, may it be development, may it be performance, may it be support engineers, right? DevOps, all need observability tools. I will see how to install Datadog, right? And the other modules, guys. These sessions, okay? These sessions will be held from Monday to Friday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST, everyone. Okay. The sessions will be held from Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. So today is our demo session, and then we'll be having the regular sessions. Coming to the course curriculum, everyone. I hope this screen is visible to all of you, right? Okay.
Yes.
Sure. Thank you. So first, guys, we will learn about what is APM and what is observability. Okay. So APM means application performance monitoring. So what is monitoring? We are going to see. Okay. So what is monitoring? And then we are going to learn about what is observability. So now, previously, guys, we had application performance monitoring. Now, observability is the new buzzword in the market. So they cannot be the same, right? Otherwise, we have different terms, right? So we are going to see what is monitoring, what is observability, and what is the difference between monitoring and observability. Clear? Next, guys. There are different pillars. Okay, there are different pillars of observability. Means based on that only we can do the observability, guys. So we are going to discuss about them. What are the pillars of observability? And then we will see what are the different tools available in the market or in the industry for application performance monitoring and observability. And why the APM tools, the observability tools are required, guys. Okay. It is not only that a particular team will need it, it is required by different teams. Okay, so why those tools are required? And Datadog is one of the leading observability tools in the market. So we are going to learn about Datadog, right? This training is going to focus on Datadog. So we're going to learn about Datadog. So we'll see the introduction to Datadog, guys, and what are the different features of Datadog, which is available as part of observability and APM. And then in order to use Datadog, we need to install the agent. So primarily, guys, with every tool like, Datadog, Dynatrace, AppDynamics, you need agent. So these agents will basically collect the data. Okay, these agents will collect the data from the application which you are monitoring. Whichever application you want to monitor, these agents are going to collect the data. So how they can collect, guys? They can basically collect the data after their installation. Okay, we have to install the agents on those servers. Okay, so we'll see how to configure the agent, then how to install the agent. So what is this agent? We'll discuss those things, guys. Next, once we do the agent installation, I will also deploy a sample application, guys. Okay, because as part of this monitoring, we need one application, right, which we can monitor. So I'll deploy one application, sample application. That application will also be shared with you, guys. We'll see the features from Datadog. The first feature which we are going to see is basically the real user monitoring. Okay, real user monitoring. What is real user monitoring, guys? Whenever a user, uses one application, any particular application which is being monitored by Datadog, right? When that user is performing the user action, who can tell me what is an user action, please? Anyone? User action. What is an user action? Anyone? If you want, you can put your message in the chat also regarding.
Yeah, just like user action means log into the application, submit some action on that specific transaction. I would say that action means nothing but do some functional, some application uses inside the application.
Absolutely. When the user is trying to do any navigation on the application, right, or is trying to perform any functionality on the application, so that leads to a user action. And when one user action, okay, any user action, guys, whenever I'm, let's say, clicking on any link, or I'm filling up a form and submitting the details, when that user action results to an interaction with the server, okay, when that user action results in an interaction with the server, that will be called as a transaction. Agree, all of you? I'll give an example, guys. Let's say you have one application form. Okay, you have one application form. There are different fields to be filled up in the form, and there is a submit button. Okay, let's say one of the field is email. Email. Now there will be different validations, right, in place for that email field, guys. Now let's say the user is not entering the email ID in a proper format, in a correct format. So there will be some error message. Ideally, if there is a good application, right, guys? Ideally, some error message will be shown, right, before submitting the form itself. Let's say, means actually they can show the error after submitting the form also, but before submitting the form also, that there can be some error displayed, and which is a good practice. Which is a good practice. Now tell me, guys, before submitting the form, when the user enters the email ID on that form, one error, let's say, gets displayed to the user. Do you think that error came from the server? I'll repeat the question, okay? Maybe some of you might not have understood it. Let's say there is a field called email field. There is a form, okay, which the user is supposed to fill up. There is an email field, right? And the expectation is that the email ID need to be provided in the correct format. We all know what is a valid format, right? This good practice, development practice, right, is that one error message should be shown to the user, and before submitting the form itself, if the error is shown, that is a good practice, guys. Now tell me, everyone, when that error message is shown to the user, even before submitting the form, only when the user entered the email ID in a wrong format, did that error message come from the server? No, right? We have two types of validations, guys. One is client-side validation and server-side validation. Now, this example which I gave is an example of client-side validation, right? Now, just imagine, guys, for verifying the or for doing the validation for the different fields, if I have to wait for submitting the form and then the server responds to that, so there could be multiple fields, and for every field, if I give there are different errors, and I keep on correcting them and submitting the request unnecessarily, there will be so many, right? Unnecessarily, there will be so many transactions happening to the server, or there will be so many requests going to the server. Instead of that, if I am able to do the validation on the client side itself without sending the request to the server, in that case, I am avoiding stress or avoiding so many requests on the server, guys. So client side validation, wherever possible, it is a good practice as compared to server side validation. Now, when there is a client side validation, if the request doesn't go to the server, then the server won't be able to detect that. Yes or no? So that is not a transaction, guys. So whenever any user action results in an interaction with the server, that will be called as a transaction. And we have different components, right? We have different components. Let's say the user will, let's say it is a web application, guys. It's a web application. Where will the user use the application? In a browser, right? It will use the application on a browser. Now, are any one of you from performance testing background? Any one of you from performance testing background?
Yes.
I'm
Yes,
doing
Chandra.
something.
Okay. Now, can you tell me, whenever we are doing the performance testing with either load runner or Jmeter, right? Does that give any metrics with respect to the browser guys or the client side metrics? Do you get them? Anyone?
I
I
have
repeat
not
the
seen in
question.
Jmeter. Yeah, I have not seen in Jmeter. I'm using some application level performance testing, but not seen in Jmeter.
Ideally, the tools like load runner, Jmeter, right? They will give you the server side response time only. Okay. Now there are different metrics on the browser, right? On the front end, basically, like first time taken for the first contentful paint, time for the first interactive paint, time for the visually complete, right? There are different metrics. These all metrics you will not get from Jmeter or Loadrunner. And yes, for Loadrunner, when you are using the web HTTP HTML protocol, right? So you will not get these metrics, guys. So how the application is used, how the application is behaving on the front end, basically on the browser. For that purpose, it becomes essential to know that, right? And that you can achieve with the help of the observability tools. So as part of real user monitoring, we can do that, guys. Okay. That is why, again, real, the observability tools are very much required in our application. Next, there is another module or another feature called as session replay. Whenever there are so many users, right, accessing the application. Let's say any user reports that there was some issue during using the application. So it will become a challenge, or sometimes the first question which the development team will ask is, can we reproduce the issue? Right? The first question the development team will ask is, can we reproduce the issue? And sometimes it could be possible, sometimes it could not be possible, right? Now the session replay, guys, using the session replay, we can basically configure whether we want to capture the user sessions, and then you can replay that user session. So when you replay that user session, you will be able to see that flow using which the user was able to encounter the error. You don't have to go and reproduce the issue. Using the session replay feature itself, you will be able to know, how the user encountered that issue. Clear, everyone? So that is the session replay feature. Then we have database monitoring. We have one term called as expensive SQL. Expensive SQL. Who can tell me what is this? We would have heard about expensive watches, expensive shoes, right? Now I'm talking about expensive SQL. What is this? Anyone? Any idea?
Long running SQL queries.
Yes. Long running SQL queries. They are consuming more CPU, or they are consuming
CPU
more resources, right? And as a result, they are contributing to higher response times. Yes or no? Now, guys, if you're only using any performance testing tool, right? If you're only doing the performance testing and you do not have any monitoring tool in place, let's say you have, high response times, then will you be able to figure out, guys, why that high response time is there? No, right? You will again have to go back to the development team. They need to run some, any SQL profiler in case monitoring tools are not available, and they will be able to see that, right? Whether there is issue with the SQL, agree or not, guys? But with the observability tools in place, we will be able to know which all SQLs are contributing to higher response times, which all SQLs are actually expensive. That is one example. As part of database monitoring, you will be able to know, guys, the response time for all the different SQLs in your application. Okay, whenever you are doing the user actions, or which database statements have been executed as part of a particular functionality. Those all things we can see in the database monitoring part. Next is the synthetic monitoring, guys. Synthetic monitoring. Now here I told you about real user monitoring, right? Now another feature of Datadog is synthetic monitoring. Now guys, you tell me, is it possible, let's say your application is hosted on the internet, it can be accessed from different geographies in the world. Okay, the application can be accessed from different geographies. Now, as a support engineer, as a monitoring team, will you be able to know, guys, how your application performance is for different parts of the world? Do you think the performance of an application, okay, when the way it will be in US, will it be the same in Africa? Performance of an application, user experience of an application, will it be the same in the United States and in Africa, or let's say South America? Will it be the same, everyone? Definitely not, right? Because it depends on so many different factors, and network being one of them. So you cannot monitor or you cannot know how your application is behaving in different parts of the world, even though the server is the same, but user experience is on the client, right? Is on the client. How the application is behaving on the client machine, that contributes to the user experience. Yes or no? Also, it's very, very difficult, guys, to check frequently, right? 24/7 with a frequency of, let's say, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, every 15 minutes, every 10 minutes, you want to go and check whether your application is working or not. That could be really hectic, right? So for that purpose, we have one feature known as synthetic monitoring. So that will be a synthetic user, not a real user. You can configure synthetic tests or synthetic users, okay, which will run from different locations, predefined locations of Datadog, and you will be able to find out how is the performance of your application, how is the user experience of your application, 24/7 days, 24/7. So as part of that, we have API test and we have browser tests. Okay, we can do that with the help of Datadog. And that is different from real user monitoring, because in case of synthetic monitoring, it is not a real user who is doing the transaction, right? It is a synthetic user. Next, guys, we have dashboards, right? So dashboards are definitely important when we want to. So the agents will collect the data, right? But that data needs to be analyzed, and not only analysis, guys, the data needs to be visualized, right? The visualization should be proper, the presentation should be proper, so that whatever data has been collected by the agent, that is displayed in a proper way, so that the users can basically, analyze properly and get some results out of it, get some conclusion out of it. So we can create different kind of dashboards in Datadog as per the requirement of the user. And then you can analyze the data also using those dashboards, guys. Next, alerting. Alerting means whenever any problem occurs, whenever any incident happens, right? Or there is, let's say, high CPU utilization or high memory utilization or any service is down, right? So you cannot, so you will have a huge infrastructure to monitor. You cannot go to each and every component every time, right? You want the system to alert you. You want the system to alert you. So for that particular purpose, guys, we can create alerts also in Datadog. We can create alerts based on different parameters, based on different threshold values, and you can get the notifications basically for your application. So that actually helps, right? I'll give you an example, guys. Let's say there is an issue in the application, right? And let's say it is during midnight, and most of the users are not using the application, okay? But you are a monitor, you are from the support team, you are monitoring the application, let's say. You have to be available, right? Now, you couldn't, you are, let's say, in some other component of the application, but you have configured this alert and you got an alert, right? That there is problem in so and so component of the application. What you did, you got that alert, you went to that, you found, you analyze that and you resolve it. What happens? You resolve it before the next business hours or next morning. So a real user, when they come and use the application, will they be able to know that an issue occurred guys during the midnight? No, right? Because you have already fixed it before they started using the application. So guys, this alerting actually helps. Yes or no? So we can create alerts in Datadog, and then we will see how to do the network monitoring, guys. How to do the network monitoring in Datadog. Okay. So these are the different modules, different features which we are going to cover for Datadog. Any questions, anyone? So this,
Yeah.
any questions, anyone on the course content? So you
Yes,
can
yes.
raise
Is
your
it
hands.
Datadog
We'll
open source or paid one, cloud one?
Sorry, who is this Sarvana or you?
Yeah, this is Saran here. I want to know
Okay,
whether this one Datadog is open source or cloud based.
Datadog is a commercial observability tool.
Oh, okay. Then if I want to practice right, so how can I avail that service?
So yeah, so there is a trial, so you can avail the trial version of it, free trial. Okay. So I'll show that. So as part of this training also, guys, we are going to see the free trial version of Datadog. Okay, means I'll show all those steps how to use the trial. Okay.
So the trial version meaning is it 14 days or 30 days one?
No, it is 14 days.
Oh, okay.
But first of all, you have to learn the tool, right? Then only you can go and use it. Okay. First, we have to understand the tool. And as part of this training, we are going to learn how to use the tool. Okay, so we'll go to the, is your query answered, Sarvanan?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. We'll go to the next question. Piyush.
Yeah, this is
Hi,
Chandra.
Chandra.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Piyush. Later I will come.
Yeah, sure. So actually, Chandra, I have a couple of questions. My first question is that, like Dynatrace, we know that we can integrate in the Jmeter. So in this course, you are showing any performance testing tool integration with Datadog. My first question. And second question, how it's different from the other APM tool?
Coming to the first question, yes, I will show how to
My first question
integrate.
is, yeah, you are using any tool to integrate like load runner Jmeter with Datadog?
Yes, we can integrate Jmeter, we can integrate load runner, we can integrate Neuro with Datadog. I'll show the integration of Jmeter with Datadog.
And my second
Then
question is, suppose I know.
Coming to your next question, how is it different from the other APM tools? So guys, every APM tool has its uniqueness. Okay, some use Dynatrace, some use AppDynamics, some use Datadog, but the pricing model will be different for different tools. Yes or no? The Dynatrace could be costly, Datadog could be a bit cheaper, right? It depends on the budget of the customer also. But more or less, the features which you will get in Dynatrace, in Datadog, in AppDynamics, these all are observability tools, guys. Okay. So all these observability are based on the fundamental concepts. Now let's say if your customer, the project in which you are working, they have Datadog, but you know Dynatrace, will you be able to use it? No, right? So basically, all these tools, they will be doing observability. You will be able to monitor your application with these tools. But if your customer doesn't have Dynatrace, but you know Dynatrace, you will not be able to do that. You will not be able to use it. For that purpose, you need Datadog, right? Means if your customer has Datadog, so you need to know Datadog in order to use that application. Agree? Is your query clarified?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Surendra.
Yeah, Chandra. See, I see that you gave me weekly 1 hour, I mean, like every day 1 hour, but see, Datadog has many modules, right? Are you only concentrating few modules, or is it sufficient to cover everything? I mean, after completion of, let's say, after completion of
like
the
end-to-end
course, yeah.
Yeah, please continue. Please continue. I think someone
No,
else.
is it sufficient, the timeline which you gave, is it sufficient for 1 week time to cover end to end?
No, we cannot. I never said that I will be covering this in 1 week, right? So we're covering this training will last for 15 to 18 hours, guys. Okay, so we'll be covering these topics in 15 to 18 hours. That is almost for 3 to 4 weeks. And then coming to the scope of the training. So these are the modules inside Dynatrace which we are going to see. Apart from this, there are other modules also. But the point here is, what is your objective? What is your role? What is your skill set, right? If you are now two things. If you are intending to use Datadog for observability, that is a different role. If you are the Datadog admin, that is a separate role. In case of Datadog admin, you are going to configure Datadog. You are going to set up Datadog for the users. That is not the objective of this training. The objective of this training is how to use Datadog, how to monitor, how to do observability of your application using Datadog. So may I ask you, means what skills, what is your skill set basically? Are you into performance testing or are you into observability?
I'm into observability. I'm into observability. We are using AppDynamics. Now customer wants to shift to the AppDynamics to Datadog. So on that one, I wanted to see, I wanted to know what are the additional features going to come with Datadog. On that aspect, I joined this one.
Yes. So then, if you are looking for observability, then whatever modules I am covering, that should be sufficient for observability. Okay.
So next question is, like, I heard that you are also having the AppDynamics feature. I mean, work on AppDynamics. Now, AppDynamics is a core feature for business transactions. So can we configure business transactions with Datadog as well?
The transactions, right? You are mentioning.
Yeah, business transactions. If I wanted to capture, discover business transaction using Datadog, will that doable?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, are you going to cover that? Because I don't see that you are capturing the business transactions. So let's say you deploying one application. I wanted to see, instead of log and traces, I wanted to see some transactions, one login or some key business transactions. Will that able to cover that?
Yes, we can do that. Not an issue.
And sorry, I'm asking many questions. And third one, are you going to use AWS, or where do you want to deploy this?
No, so
AWS?
So yeah, as part of this training, we are going to deploy the application on a VM, our own VM wise, and will be showing the monitoring part basically on that application. We are
No,
not
no,
going
is
to.
this a, no, is it AWS or Azure? Where you wanted to cover?
No,
So
it
let's
is,
say
as I
somewhere.
told you, it is, as I told you, it is not on cloud, it is on our VM. So it is basically a Windows server. On the Windows server, we are going to deploy the application and we are going to monitor.
Oh, Windows Server, okay. Not on the Linux and all, okay. Okay,
No.
okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, Hemant?
Yeah, I just want to know what are the limitations for this tool? Does it support all the technologies or any limitations like ERP or doesn't support?
So what are the applications or the technology stacks you are looking for? So based on that, I can confirm you like whether Datadog would support that.
So we are using the Salesforce basically, our major technology. So cloud-based only, everything controlled by.
Salesforce applications can be monitored using Datadog.
Okay. So and I just want to know one more thing. We are using some other thick client applications as well, like a client server based application, standalone, the old tradition. So is it possible to integrate with the Datadog, those kind of a standalone as well, like a Windows based, I can say, client server architecture?
So yeah, client server architecture can be definitely monitored, but the technology stack, right, which will be implemented in your application, that has to be checked once. If you can confirm me the tech stack, maybe not now, if to do not, this because this session is getting recorded, right? So if you can ping me one-to-one also, I can confirm you. Okay.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
on standalone applications also, if we basically see, if we deploy the agent and if the agent is compatible with your technology stack, you should be able to monitor your application.
Yeah, got it. The other question um, is there any communication path over the Citrix servers or should be on straightforward manner, like a web to client kind of thing? Why? Because our thick client applications are hosted in Citrix based, everything through Citrix. So I'm not sure whether we can load the agent in the Citrix side or local side.
Agents have to be deployed in the servers. So if the customer is not allowing that, maybe you can ask your customer to reach out to Datadog sales person. They will be able to help them out.
Okay.
Any other questions? Sarvanan?
Oh, so since you have mentioned that you're going to use Windows VM to do that application monitoring, right? But in my organization, we use Linux machines only majorly for deploying the applications and all. So will you be showing any use cases on Linux also for like infra monitoring, coverage, and other application things also?
So whether it is Linux, whether it is Windows, your monitoring capabilities are with respect to Datadog. So we need to know how to use Datadog, right? So for that purpose, features were going to remain the same. Once the agent is deployed either on Windows, either on Linux, you should be able to monitor your application. That should not be a challenge.
Application, I agree. How about for infrastructure?
Yeah, infrastructure can also be monitored. No? Whenever you are deploying the agents on the server, you can do the infrastructure monitoring also.
Okay, so you're going to say
And we are going to
something
cover
like
that as per. We'll be covering that for Windows Server.
okay. And if I have my own custom monitoring script, right, which has to be monitored as part of Datadog, whether this Datadog supports that also?
Yes, custom monitoring is support.
Okay. And any AI-related use cases also will be covered as part of this training?
For AI, we have a separate course actually, so we'll not be covering AI as part of this.
Okay. Fine. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, anyone?
Yeah,
No,
one
no,
last.
the actual batch will be starting from tomorrow.
Oh, no, yeah, but with the batch, we are going to have the first session from the day one from tomorrow. But
Okay.
today also I will be touching upon some of the topics.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So,
Yeah, just
yeah, one second. Is there any way you can also include Linux? Because nowadays all the applications are cloud-based on our Linux environment. So we need to familiar that one, right? Suppose you
As I
wanted to.
mentioned you, the features, right? The features of Datadog, capabilities of Datadog are with respect to the different operating systems, or let's say Windows or Linux or whatever. But the flow, right? Once the agent is deployed, the way you will use that application, that is going to remain the same, right? So whether my agent is deployed on Windows or whether my agent is deployed on Linux, is my infrastructure monitoring feature going to change? No, right? What is the CPU utilization? What is the CPU utilization? What is the memory utilization? If I know how to do the infrastructure monitoring in Datadog, I should be able to do it do it for different infrastructures.
Yeah.
So that should not be an issue.
Yeah, I do understand.
I would be able to. I would be able to definitely cover the Linux, but I do not have the Linux infrastructure now available with me. That is why, as part of this training, I will not be able to cover that.
Yeah.
No, at least using cloud, if you can able to show one use case, right? Using AWS cloud or Azure or VM, right? That will be really
Right.
good.
So see what I wanted to highlight here, right? See, offerings are same, but whereas the installation for the agent Windows versus Linux, it's a different, right? That just
Again,
I want.
now coming to your question again. Now you see, now you touched upon a different thing. I know that. See, I told you that we have two kind of skill sets we are looking for, right? Whether I'm a Dynatrace admin or whether I'm a Datadog admin or I'm a Datadog user. Now you tell me, if you are going to use Datadog as an end user, are you going to install the agents on the respective infrastructure?
The end user won't install it. Right.
Yes, that is what my point is, right? I clarified it, right? Now, you are not going to install the agents, right? Your Datadog admin, there will be a concerned team inside your organization, right? Who will be managing Datadog. They are going to install the agents for you. So whether the agent is deployed on cloud, whether the agent is deployed on Windows, whether the agent is deployed on Linux, why do you have to bother? How is it deployed? Are you getting me or not? But yes, I understand your request. If required, we'll see if we can cover, we will cover that. Okay. But yes, that is what my point is here. What is your objective? Whether you want to use Datadog as an end user for monitoring, or you want the role to, administer the administration part of Datadog. Right?
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, anyone?
Yeah, just one last question. So you're going to show us configuring the data dashboards as well, right? I mean the dashboards.
Yes.
How to configure.
Yes, we'll be configuring the dashboards. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's only the main thing. And one last thing, CI/CD integrations. Is there anything in terms of, suppose if we are using any DevOps tools, so any possibility to show us, how to integrate with the Datadog?
As part of this training, we are not going to cover that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Fair enough. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. So, any other questions, anyone? Let me start.
And also, do you have any plans for Datadog admin course as well?
So keep watching our space. In case there is a course in the future, we'll let you know, because you see the demand for Datadog admin, right, is not that too much, because in any project, the role for the openings for the Datadog admin or Dynatrace admin or AppDynamics admin, they will be very few, right? Are you getting it? The number of users who will be using that particular tool will be more, right? So that is why we do not have the means. If required, we'll come up with that training.
Yeah. So and again, I said that there is a certifications on it, right? For a vendor certification. So once who complete this one, he can able to go through the certification part.
Yes, I'll also guide you guys on the certification, like how should you prepare for the Datadog certification. And after going through this training and doing the hands-on properly, you should be able to clear the Datadog certification easily, guys. So Datadog offers it. The Datadog offers the professional certification as well. Okay.
I think there are 3 certifications on it, right? I think.
Yeah, we'll go into the details later. Okay, but yes, Datadog offers the professional certificate.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. So guys, now we'll dive into the topic. So let me start sharing my screen once again. So before I start, guys, anyone wants to put forward your thought that what is monitoring, guys, or application performance monitoring or application monitoring, right? You already have heard this term. What is monitoring? Yeah. You all would have either done monitoring on some other tools, right? Like someone was mentioning, you have worked on AppDynamics or there's a Dynatrace. So, any thoughts, guys?
Yeah.
You don't have to be right.
Right, monitoring nothing, but here, see, we need to see the application behavior in order to such a way. So proactive, we call it as proactive, right? Instead of raising by the customer, we have to see the health of the application using different tools. So in order to detect the issues before user get raised, that is right. It's going to impact business. So in order to achieve that, these are the so many monitoring techniques tools available in the market. So and also when it get notified to you and through the different notifications, alerting, and it all comes under monitoring. It's basically in the production side, we have monitoring system enabled so that to save the business hours.
So then what is observability? I am not expecting you guys to tell me the correct answer, because if that would be the case, then I would not dive into these topics. I just want to know your thoughts. Like, what do you think? Any initial thoughts on observability? Because this is the new buzzword, guys. This observability is the new buzzword, right? We had monitoring previously. Now we have observability.
Monitoring has modules, right? Like modules where we can have the only APM modules and logs cannot be monitorable there, like that. But whereas observability, where you can monitor everything, logs, APM, and all end-to-end your application health, it will be, people are calling as nowadays observability. But I would say monitoring versus observability is same, only the way they this is a buzzword. It's a next version, I would say, that monitoring.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yes. The observability is nothing, just as monitoring, we are just monitoring the application infra and the database. But the observability, where we are, all the things are tracing, right? Metrics, events, logs, and the trace. All things we are deep dive into this.
Okay. Anyone else?
Monitoring something like reactive things we do. As soon as any metric issues reported, we take a reactive action. Observe something like a proactive things, right? We know that something is going to happen, we take a proactive measures to avoid the issues.
Good guys. I could get some inputs, but let us see, right? If you guys are 100% correct or things are incorrect, let us see that. So guys, we are basically going to see what is monitoring, what is observability, and what are the differences basically, and how it applies to Datadog, right? So we'll see those things. So now coming to what is monitoring, guys. As someone was saying that we can only do metrics monitoring. That is not the right thing, guys. Monitoring means you have access to your metrics, you have access to your logs, you have access to your alerts. So monitoring is basically you collect these data points, your metrics, whatever you have already defined, right? Whatever metrics you have already configured. So those metrics you can get from the tool, right? So you are collecting those metrics, you are analyzing those metrics. You are collecting the logs, right? And you are analyzing the logs. You are checking the alerts, whatever alerts have been generated by the application or basically by the tool, and you are analyzing those alerts. Clear, all of you? And in this case, we primarily focus on the issues. Whatever issues we get, we primarily focus on those issues and the expected failures. We know, yes, this is gonna fail, and we know that. Okay. My question primarily for monitoring is that, is my application, is my system up and running or not, as per my expectation? Okay, as per my expectation, whether my application or whether my system is up and running or not, guys. Now, some more metrics or some examples are basically CPU utilization. How much is the CPU utilization of my system? How much is the memory usage, right? Here, all of you, what is the memory utilization? What are the HTTP error rates, right? Error codes are there, right? We have the HTTP error codes. So what are those error codes, or how many error codes are we getting? So this is basically our monitoring. But observability, okay, observability will be one step further. Okay, it will be one step further. In monitoring, we are just seeing the metrics. We are simply analyzing that, but we are not trying to find out the root cause. Okay, we are seeing the metrics, but we are not getting the answer, or we are not trying to find out the answer why that is happening. Are you finding that answer, guys? As part of monitoring? No, we just get the metrics, right? And then we forward it with the concerned team. But in case of observability, we go one step further, or two steps further, or three steps further, and we have the ability to understand the internal state of our system. Whatever metrics we have got, in addition to those metrics, in addition to those logs, we will go to the other items in the application, other components in the application, or other data points in the application, and then we will try to find out what is the state of the system. We'll try to understand the state of the system. So this is beyond monitoring, guys. So I can say that observability is a superset, or monitoring is basically a subset of observability. Okay, monitoring is a subset of observability. So by observability, we can diagnose unknown issues or complex issues, guys. We can find out the root cause. We can try to get the root cause. But in case of monitoring, guys, you simply get the errors, you simply get the metrics, and you send it to them, guys. Okay. But in case of observability, we try to find out the root cause. And Observability is based on these three pillars, guys: metrics, logs, and traces. Now, what are they? Will go to them later. And as I told you, we try to find the answer to this question: why is the system or why is the application behaving in this way? Okay, why is the application behaving in this way, guys? Clear, all of you? So this is, the basic of observability. Okay, so monitoring is a subset of observability, everyone. Okay, monitoring is a subset of observability. Clear, everyone? So we will stop the session here today as we have reached our time. We'll resume in the next one. Hope you all enjoyed today's session, everyone. So thank you all for joining. Have a good one.